Hi everyone, it's Richard here and welcome to this very special webinar which we're doing today, how to be outstanding. And I think you're going to get some amazing content from this webinar. Well done for attending. I think we've got about 50% of the VAs on this call. So that means that around 50% of you are happy to plod along and be good, okay? Congratulations to you guys. Actually, the numbers are going up all the time. So congratulations to you guys who actually want to be outstanding. So well done for being here. So first of all, just points here to make sure that you do get the most out of this webinar. Please do turn off your phone, first of all. And in fact, let me just check that mine is turned off. No, it's not. So there we are. It is now. So turn off your phone. Remove any distractions that you may have in the room, any children or any pets or anything else that may distract you. Do give this your total focus and attention. Participate and ask lots of questions. So if you can type any questions that you may have in the Q&A box, not the chat box. Okay, one of the things with being outstanding is to follow simple instructions, and you'll be amazed how many times I say, please put questions into the Q&A box, and people still put them into the chat box. So any questions, and I really do want you to ask lots of questions, because I know that when you're asking questions, you're taking in the information I'm giving you, you're absorbing that information, you're questioning it, you're trying to get complete clarity, and that is what outstanding people. So I want to see lots and lots of questions. I don't want to get to this at the end and everybody's sat there saying nothing. So think hard about what's being said, give it your full attention, and please, please, please do ask lots of questions. Take notes as we go through. Obviously it's being recorded, and the recording will be available to you in Kajabi at a later date, but still do take lots of notes. You know, when you write things down, you retain an awful lot more information. So do take notes with a pen and paper as we go through. Do review the recording of this webinar as well. Play it back 2, 3, 4 times so that the information really sinks in. You know, do it on a regular basis. And we're going to talk about how important it is to take time on your personal development, on your learning every week, every day. Schedule some time. So do make sure you review this and all of the other training material that we've got available to you on a regular basis. And schedule time each week, each day, to actually invest in yourself, invest in your learning, and bringing your skills, improving your skills, bringing them up to date. Okay. So what is it to be outstanding? So do you want to be outstanding? Yes, you're here. So I'm delighted that we've got now a lot of people on the call. You know, you guys that are here, you're not okay. You're not okay at all. You are better than okay. I don't think we have virtual assistants in Varbavum that are okay. Okay people are the masses. They're the plodders. Yeah, they get things done, but that's all they are. There's lots and lots and lots of okay people in the world. Somebody has just raised a hand. If you've got something that you'd like to ask, please do put it into the chat. So that's the sorry, not the chat. Just said not in the chat, but the Q&A box. Do please just type it in there if you've got a question, and I will deal with it. So people on this call are better than okay. So you're all good. You wouldn't be part of the Varbavum team if you weren't good. So you're good at what you do. You're better than average. We have very, very thorough screening and good training and everything for all of our VAs. So, yeah, absolutely, you are at least good to be here. But what about being outstanding? Outstanding people, they stand out. They are way above everybody else. They are high achievers. They are successful in all walks of their life. So they are successful in their relationships. They make successful parents, outstanding parents. They have good relationships with friends. They do well at their job, at their work, what they do. If they're running businesses, they have successful businesses. They breed success. So that's what outstanding people, they go beyond the norm. They don't do what's easy. They challenge themselves, always looking at ways to improve what they do and be the best person that they can be. That's what an outstanding person is. That's what makes you stand out. One of the stories that brings to mind how to explain outstanding, American Olympics, 1996, and the American gymnast team, they needed, they were on their last event, and it was the vault, and they needed a certain number of points. They had great games. They needed on this final event a certain number of points to walk off with the gold medal. And it was now down to the last vault. Kerry Strug had to do this vault to be able to get the points that they needed to walk off with the gold. And she had 2 attempts. She had been, obviously, all of her life, she'd been working up to this. This was her first Olympics. She was only very young, as most gymnasts are. She had trained for years to get to where she was. And now here she was being watched by the world at this crucial time to do this vault and be in a place that she had dreamt of all her life. And she made her first attempt, and as she landed, she wobbled slightly and she felt a snap and pain sear through her leg, and she had done some serious damage to her leg, and she collapsed on the floor. And she had 1 attempt left. She got up and she did her second attempt, and she could hardly walk. She was in so much pain. She did her second attempt. She landed squarely on the floor, both feet, and then she dropped to the floor. And she got the points that she needed, that the team needed, and they walked off with the gold. And she had to be carried to the podium to collect that gold medal. So that is what it's like to be outstanding, where you're completely focused on what you do. You want to be the very best that you can be. Yeah, she was outstanding, and she got that result that was needed. Now, there are some simple things that you can do to be outstanding. Outstanding is actually not hard. Okay, there are some simple things to make yourself outstanding, and the purpose of this is I want you to be outstanding. I want you to be outstanding, not just in what you do for your job, for Bar Bar Boom. I want you to be an outstanding person. I want you to get everything that you want in life, and it's achievable. We, Bar Bar Boom, we are here to help you become outstanding. Bar Bar Boom, my mission, if you like, with Bar Bar Boom is to provide the very best service that we can to our clients. I want our clients, as they do generally, to talk and to recommend us and to say the experience I've had with Bar Bar Boom has been amazing. They have exceeded expectation. A comparable is Disney. Disney is a company where everybody knows the Disney theme parks, they're amazing places. And if you are lucky enough ever to go to a Disney theme park, you know that you're going to have an amazing experience. But they want to make it more than amazing. They take the bar and they raise it. They raise it to the very highest level. And when you go to Disney, if you're ever lucky enough to go, what you will experience will be far beyond your expectation, because that's where they set the bar. And that's what I want to do with Bar Bar Boom. I want to deliver to our customers the very, very best service that we can deliver. And what I want to do for you is to serve you as best as I can. I want the best people in Varbabum, and I want to give you the very, very best support, the very best opportunities, everything that I can do to make you a success and to make you outstanding. And that's why I'm doing this. You know, we live nowadays in a throwaway society. Everything is disposable. Products that we buy are disposable. Everything is designed for the short term. And unfortunately, that can happen with our jobs as well. In the olden days, when I first started work in this country, a lot of people were employed in large factories, and people would live in work in those factories for years and years and years, and often they would be introduced into working into that factory because their parents worked in the factory. I know people, when I first started work, I worked in a factory. That's where I did my initial training. I know people still now that I worked with all those years ago, and a lot of them, they got working, they got doing the job that they did because they were introduced to the company by their family. So that's often how things used to be in this country. I'm going back now to the late 70s and the early 80s. It's not like that nowadays. Companies take people on and they very, very quickly decide if they're the right fit, if they're the right person for that business. And if they're not, then that's it, they're disposed of. We live in a throwaway society. It is so important to have attention to detail, to really, really, really listen carefully to what is being said. When your client is explaining what needs to be done, listen very, very carefully. If necessary, a lot of meetings, your weekly review meetings, and when you're discussing tasks, there'll often be discussions held over Zoom. Record it. So if you're not sure, you can go back, you can play it back, you can review it, make sure you got everything right. Make sure you have got 100% clarity, that you totally understand exactly what the client wants, what they're asking from you. And if you're not sure, ask. I've said so many times, ask questions, get clarity. Any kind of doubt at all, ask. If you don't know how to do something, don't let the client assume that you know how to do something. Explain to your client that it's something new, it's something you're unsure of, you've not done it before, so you're going to go away and find out. And we're there to support you. You guys are in such a strong position, because I don't think, as far as I know, there is any other virtual assistant business like this where the company will give you all of the support that we do. And it's for me personally as well. It's for me personally. I will personally give you the support that you need. If anybody needs to have a talk with me, have a chat with me, we have the open door every Thursday. If you want to discuss anything with me, you can come onto that open door call. It is every Thursday morning at 9 o'clock in the UK BST. We're on at the moment, so I think that is 4 o'clock, I believe, in the afternoon for you on a Thursday. So come on to that if you want to check anything. So get clarity. Review the work that you're doing. Read things back. Does it read properly? Am I using the right words? Is it punctuated properly? Have I got full stops and capital letters where they should be? Review what you do. Read everything back. It's far better to take longer to do a task well than to do a task quickly. Use Grammarly. Grammarly is a tool out there that you can use. It will point out if something's wrong, either with the grammar or the punctuation or the spelling. So use Grammarly. It doesn't always get it right, I must say, but it's still a good tool. When you're working with your client as well, make sure that you are 100% focused on their work. So don't be doing work for your client and at the same time be chatting with a friend on Facebook, or have something else going on in the background, of watching a video or something, and only half working. That client is paying you for that, for your time. So be 100% focused. Be only dealing with that one thing. Remove the distractions. Be focused on your work. And just make sure you ask the questions. So what is the difference between being successful and being having failure? So very, very simple. Success is a few disciplines repeated every day. Failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. So it's so important to be consistent in what you do. Form habits, form good habits. It's easy to form bad habits as well. So get rid of the bad habits and form the good habits. And I'm going to be talking now about some of the good habits that you can acquire to make sure that you are successful in what you do. A few simple disciplines, and it's about discipline. It's about making sure that you do the right things, doing the right things every single day, consistently, and not doing the wrong things every day, consistently. Consistency beats intensity, okay? So you don't have to have lots and lots and lots of habits that you're trying to do every day. Don't try and cram too much in. Don't try and be over busy. Just be consistent in doing the right things. When things go wrong, and things do go wrong, we do all make mistakes, okay? Everybody makes mistakes, but learn by those mistakes. So when things go wrong, look at what went wrong and why it went wrong. What caused the problem? And learn by it. Learn by your mistakes and learn by your successes as well. When things go right, what made that go right? What were the things I did to make that be a success? Observe what other people are doing. Learn by other people's mistakes. Learn by other people's successes. What are other people doing? What works, what doesn't work? And take that in and absorb it. If you do this, what you'll do is you'll develop a personal philosophy, I call it. Okay, a personal philosophy is the way you behave, the way you do things, the habits that you have, the way you perform. That is your personal philosophy. It's about attitude. It's about having the right attitude. It's about knowing what you want. What is it you want out of your life? What is it you want out of your relationships? What is it that you want spiritually? What is it that you want professionally? What are your desires? What are your needs? Work that out. Understand what your needs are, what your wants are. And then develop an attitude, develop habits, develop a way of doing things to satisfy those needs. A way of doing things. It's a process. We all have processes. Your process is the way you do what you do. It's the actions that you take. Develop a process. Your personal philosophy, part of your personal philosophy is your process. It's your way of being. Develop perhaps a standard, a way of working. In the morning, I wake up at such and such a time. The first thing I do is perhaps I may read a bit. I may meditate. I will then shower, get dressed, go and have something to eat, have some tea, do certain things, and then I will maybe walk the dog. I will go out for a walk. I know there's restrictions in place at the moment, but they're not going to last forever. Exercise. What's your exercise routine? have that process, have that way of doing things, form those habits. Consistency beats intensity. And when it comes to your work, when it comes to, I said earlier, you're in charge of your own destiny. So be indispensable. Make yourself indispensable. It is actually no harder to be outstanding than it is okay. No harder to stand out than to be okay. No harder to stand out than being good. It is just about those habits that you form. People that are successful, people that are outstanding, they have a particular mindset. They think in a certain way, and they think in a different way to the masses, to all the people that are okay, or all of the people that are good. Outstanding people think in a different way. Outstanding people work harder on themselves than they do in their job. I work harder on myself, on making myself the best that I can be, than I do on my job, than I do on Selfinflicted, or I do on Awaken to Business. If you work hard on yourself, then the rest of it just flows. It comes naturally. So worry about yourself, and your job will sort itself out. That will just happen. You are rewarded for the value that you bring to other people, whether it's the business that you're working in, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends. You are rewarded by those people, the people that you're surrounded with, by the value that you give to them. You don't get paid by the hour. You don't get paid for an hour's time that you give to the business that you're working in. You get paid for the value that you bring to that business. The value that you provide in an hour, that is what you're paid for. So if you're doing an hour's work and you don't bring any value, your career is going to be very short-lived. If you're doing an hour's work and you're bringing true value to that business, you've got a job forever. Nobody's going to get rid of somebody who brings value to the business. So what you want to be, your aim, your goal needs to be providing a consistency, delivering value that exceeds expectation. Always try and exceed the expectation. Be better than what's expected of you. Contribute. The way you can do this is not just do the job, but contribute to the business. Come up with ideas. If you think something can be improved on, say so. We have in our team, we have a good ideas board. I encourage people to come to me with ideas. How can we improve what we're doing? You know, I'm just one small part. I'm one small part of the team. Yeah, I may be the team leader, but I'm just one small part. And I spend a lot of time thinking about how we can improve. But I'm welcoming ideas from my team. I'm encouraging them to come up with ideas. I can't have all the ideas on my own. When you have 10 people in a team, the effect, the cumulative effect, is 100 times stronger than 10 people working as individuals. So it's so important to work as a team, to contribute, to think about ideas, think about improvements. And that's how you, by coming up with these things, by being open. Don't worry if the idea doesn't get implemented. It really doesn't matter. It's been something that's been thought about. It's giving thought. And that is what provides true value. And when you're thinking and you're coming up ideas, think about these are solutions. So your client is not looking for somebody that's going to bring them problems. Don't bring problems. Don't ask questions that are going to cause a problem. Ask questions that are going to bring solutions. Come with ideas and solutions, not making things worse. If you think that you may have an idea that could be an improvement for the business, think about how can you demonstrate that. Put as much into it as possible. Really important. Make yourself indispensable. Be very, very careful that you are checking what you're doing. You're listening carefully to what's being said. You're getting clarity where you're not sure. You're asking the right questions. You're reviewing your work. Your work is accurate. It meets the brief. You're fulfilling the objective that was set. And be totally focused on what you're doing. Okay, so when you're working for your client, you're totally focused on your client's work. You're not doing other things. You're not being distracted. You're not checking your phone, a voicemail, a WhatsApp or something comes in, or a Skype message. You're not jumping to that, reading that. Be focused on what you're doing. Everything else can wait. Why do you want to be outstanding? Know your reasons why. Think about what your reasons why. Different people have different reasons. So for some people, it may be recognition. You want to be told you've done a really, really good job, that you are outstanding, that you have exceeded the expectation. You want somebody to recognize that and communicate it to you. For other people, that recognition may come from within, that you want to feel the satisfaction. You want to feel the sense of achievement. So that's something you feel. That's not somebody, that's the opposite to somebody telling you that you've done a good job. You want to feel internally that you have done a good job. For other people, it may be that you want to be successful in what you're doing so you can support your family better. You can be a better mother, a better father, a better sister, a brother, aunt, uncle, better for the people around you. You can serve them better. You want to help other people. You want to help other people. And as I've said many times, that's what we are about. Okay, I want Boom to be the best that it can, because I want to help other people in what they're doing. I want to help other business owners. I want to help you. When people apply to Boom, I don't care too much about your background. You don't have to be a bachelor. You don't have to have a degree. What you have to do is you obviously have to have a level of intelligence, but it's more about attitude. It's more about approach. We're open to newbies. We're not just open to experienced virtual assistants. We will take people on based on them and who they are and what their wants are. And that's why we have a screening process like we do. So having taken people on that want to help themselves, you being sat here listening to this, you want to help yourself. You want to be outstanding. So I want to help people like you. I want to do everything that I can. That's my mission. So know your reason why, and understand we all have self-inflicted limitations, and there's common self-inflicted limitations. These are the reasons we believe we can't do something. It's so much about attitude and changing this attitude and switching out of these self-inflicted limitations. So what are they? Blame, first of all. Blame is a natural negative tendency. It's somebody else's fault. It's because this person wasn't there on time. It was because this person was meant to do something, they didn't do it. Pushing the blame onto somebody else. There is only one person to blame when things go wrong, and that's yourself. What could I have done differently? If I had done something differently, what would the end result been then? So blame is a good one. Excuses. There's a million reasons why something can't be done. We can all come up with excuses. It was too late. It was too early. It was too rainy. All hundreds, millions of reasons, excuses why something can't be done. Procrastination. Procrastination, where you put things off. So if you put something off and it doesn't get done, then in your head you're thinking to yourself, because you put it off, it doesn't really seem that important. You put one thing off, and then you put something else off, and then you put something else off, and you end up with a pile of things that you procrastinated on, a pile of things that didn't seem that important. So you put them off. And when you've got a pile of things that are unimportant, they become very important. You're heading for disaster. So remove the blame, remove the excuses, remove the procrastination, and you are well on the way to becoming the new you, to becoming outstanding. So now let's talk about personal development. So personal development. So I said earlier about how you need to be investing time in yourself. Care more about yourself than your job. If you care about yourself, who you are, investing in your personal development, the rest of it just works out. It follows a natural path. So there are 6 abilities that people have that focus on themselves. So as far as personal development is concerned, there are 6 abilities. And everyone, you all have the ability to change. You can make the choice whether you want to take these things in and whether you want to do them or whether you don't. You have that discipline. You have that discipline to form those good habits. And it's quite easy to do. It takes 28 days to form a new habit. So it's not going to happen overnight. The things that I'm telling you now, hopefully you'll go away from this and you'll work on this and you will set your routines. You will think about how you're going to invest your time in yourself, when you're going to do it. You will plan things out. And it will take time. It will take time to form these habits. But do this. Okay, so absorb information, what's going on around you. We're going to talk about in a little bit about your learning and setting time aside to learn and take things in. Be emotional. Let life touch you. It's okay to feel down. These are natural responses. Our body is designed, our mind is designed to react to things. So it's okay. That's okay. And then use those emotions. Be in touch with how you feel and then use that feeling for the better. Take time to reflect. So a good practice here is to reflect every day. Take 15 minutes every day at the end of the day to think about what's gone on that day. What went well? What didn't get done? What could have been done better? Reflect on your day. Take time to do that. Take time once a week to reflect on your week. Take time once a month to reflect on the month. Take time once a quarter to reflect on the quarter. Take time at the end of the year, at Christmas or after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year, to reflect on your year. What went well? Did I achieve what I wanted to achieve? What could I have done differently? And then the opposite to reflect, take time to plan. Take 15 minutes a day to plan what you're going to do the next day. Probably doesn't even need to be 15 minutes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Look at your to-do list. What have I got to do tomorrow? What have I got to do for the rest of the week? Plan things out. Once a week, at the weekend, plan your week out. What have I got on my to-do list? Some of the things are going to be regular routine tasks, so know when you're going to do them. Some of them are going to be the ad hoc tasks that have been assigned to you. So just plan, what have I got to do? Have I got too much to do? Have I got too many things to do this week? Have I got the time to get them done? My client only wants me to work for, I don't know, 10 hours a week. And yeah, I've got 15 hours worth of work here to do. Well, I'm not going to be able to get all that done. So there's a problem. So think about that and go back to your client in advance and say, really sorry, but I've got too much to do here. So what would you like me to do? Would you like to reprioritize, or would you like me to do more hours this week? You tell me. So you plan your week, and then when there's problems, you go to your client and you discuss that, and you get the client make the decision. At the end of the month, reflect on the month. What went well? What didn't go well? I'm not just talking about work, I'm talking about in your life. I've got on my YouTube channel, I've got a video about setting goals and objectives in your life. I suggest you watch it. Think about what you want, what are your desires, how you're going to achieve those desires, and put a plan together. So reflect on it at the end of each month. Reflect on it at the end of each quarter. What do I need to do for the next quarter? Reflect on it at the end of the year. What do I need to be doing next year? And then just break it all down into life-size chunks. Take action. Again, this is the opposite to procrastinate. Take action. Do what you say you're going to do. Load, fire, aim. Making the wrong decision can be better than making no decision at all. Do something. Take action. If you commit to something, do it. Do it. And don't necessarily worry if you're not sure about everything. Okay, things will take a habit of working out. If you can go somewhere to get the information that you need, then you do it. If you need to ask somebody some questions, then you ask those questions. You get the information that you need. You ask the right questions, but you take action. And share what you know. This is a really, really big one. Share what you know. So I'm in the fortunate position that I'm a mentor. I mentor clients, I mentor you guys, I mentor my team. Every time I tell somebody something, I'm reinforcing it into myself. When you share your knowledge, when you share your experiences, when you share the good things that have happened, when you share the bad things that have happened, you are reinforcing that information, and you are contributing to somebody else as well. It's a win-win. When you share information, they get a huge benefit, but you do as well. Givers receive. When you give out, you receive back. So intellectual feasting, and this is so important. This is about spending time on yourself, investing in yourself, feeding your intellect, learning new things, hearing other people's ideas, learning off other people. All of this is intellectual feasting. And there's lots of things that you can do here. So first of all, take 30 minutes a day to feed your intellect, to read, to listen to audiobooks, listen to podcasts, meditate. Spend at least 30 minutes a day reviewing material, reviewing educational material. So read every day. So one of the things I do is I make sure I read 10 pages a day. I do enjoy reading. I do enjoy taking information, but I've been there in the past where all of a sudden I realised that I haven't read a book for the last 6 months, and it can be easy to get into the habit of reading, and it can be easy to get into the habit of not reading. So get into the habit of just reading a small amount each day, maybe 10 pages every day. Before you go to bed or first thing when you wake up in the morning, just read 10 pages. If you do that, you will soon start to absorb the information. You will soon start to plow through the books. It's not much 10 pages of a book, but in a week, that's 70 pages, 300 pages in a month. So just small amounts on a consistent basis. Listen to podcasts. So it's easy to listen to podcasts. You can be listening to them when you're doing other things. You can multitask then. When I'm listening to podcasts, I do like to have my journal with me. I'm going to talk about writing things down. I like to have my journal with me so that it's always at hand. Here's the journal. So as I'm listening, as I'm going through life, I write things in there. If a good idea pops into my head, I write things in there. So, but it's easy to listen to podcasts and listen to audiobooks and digest that information. Watch YouTube videos. Watch YouTube videos and TED Talks. Watch videos on TED Talks. There's so much good content on the internet, on YouTube, on TED Talks. So many good stuff, and it's all free. It's all available to you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. So it is Vavavum space A to B. Go on my YouTube channel, subscribe to that. In fact, do it now. Do it now. Do it now, and then type into the Q&A box when you've done it, done. And on there, you are going to find loads of videos like this. Videos that you can use for your own personal development. There's some really, really good material on there. So I'm not saying that you've got to watch one every day, but commit to saying watching one of those once a week. And then you will just absorb this information, feast the intellect. You said you want to be outstanding, so commit to doing these things. And somebody's asked what the keyword was again. So it is Vavavum without any spaces, and then a space and A to B. So Heidi's subscribed. Well done, Heidi. Glenn, yes, well done. Excellent. Keep going, guys. Do more. Okay, do more. Take action. It's not what happens, it's what you do. Okay, so, you know, it's what you do. We can go through life and we can do what we're used to doing. We can do what we know. We can do what we're comfortable with. We can do what we're happy with. We can do what we know we do well. The trouble is when you go through life just doing the same thing, repeating the same actions, you don't grow. Growth happens when you move outside your comfort zone, when you start to do things that you've not done before. So always look to do new things, to do things that you're uncomfortable with. I set myself a challenge. I was with a group of people, networking meeting. In fact, actually, it was a workshop, a training workshop, which I go to every month. This was last year. As you can probably see, I'm not the trimmest of guys. I'm not the youngest of people in the world, and we were discussing running a half marathon. Well, there were three options actually. We were discussing doing a sponsored run for charity, and all different people in the room, all different ages, all different abilities, and the three options were to run a 5K sponsored run, a 10K sponsored run, or a half marathon, which is, I think it's about 23K. I've never run in my life. I'm not particularly sporty. I'm not particularly fit. I knew that I could probably, with a bit of training, quite easily do a 5K run. And, you know, we had quite a few months to go. This was, we had 6 months in advance. So I knew I had 6 months to get myself into reasonable shape. I thought, yeah, I could probably do a 5K run. That's not a problem. 10K? Now that could be a little bit more challenging. That could be a little bit more difficult. The third option, half marathon, really? That's a long way. That is a long way. But I knew in myself that would be a challenge. That would be a challenge. I didn't know if I could do it or not. Okay, it may be one challenge too far. But I decided to commit then. I decided that I would do that. And I would give it my best shot. And I would rather shoot for something that was going to be really, really challenging, not knowing if I could do it or not. I knew I was determined. I would give it everything that I could to do that. But I didn't know if my body was capable. In fact, at one time, halfway through the training, I had a lot of knee problems, and it looked like then that I wasn't going to be able to do it due to injury, but I managed to pull through the injury. So it was really, really hard for me. It was really, really tough for me. But the satisfaction when I did that, when I made it across that finishing line, and it was really challenging. You know, it was really, really challenging. But when it came to it on the day, there was no way I was going to give up. Absolutely no way. I'd have crawled on my hands and knees across that finishing line if necessary. So set yourself high standards. Set yourself high standards. Set yourself high challenges, and function outside of your comfort zone. That is where all the growth happens. All the growth happens there. Develop a self-awareness. Question yourself all the time. Am I doing the best that I can do? Am I being the best person that I can be? Am I contributing as much as I can contribute? Am I coming up with the ideas? Am I making myself indispensable? Okay, question yourself, and always, always, always be looking to be the best that you can. Follow exceptional people. Okay, so model what other people do, copy what other people do. Who else is outstanding? Who else is exceptional? What's their philosophy for life? Copy off them, look at them and mimic. You very much feed off the people you surround yourself with. If you come from a family and your family are a family of people that are easily satisfied, they argue, they fight, maybe working below the law, below the law, stealing, these sort of things. It's very, very hard if you're born into that family to come out of that, because that's your environment. That's the environment that you're functioning in, and you are feeding off those other people. Their values, their way of carrying on is what you're absorbing. If, however, you surround yourself, the best thing if you are in a negative environment is to remove yourself from that. and go and look at, well, who are the people that I want to be? Who do I want to be in the future? And you find those people, and that's who you mix with. That's who you network with. So follow exceptional people, and you don't have to physically follow these people. They don't need to be in the same town, in the same city, in the same country as you. Follow people on video, on TV, on YouTube, that are exceptional people, that are high achievers. Listen to what they've got to say and take in what they've got to say. Allow yourself to be influenced by exceptional people. Don't be influenced by unexceptional people. Communicate effectively. So going back to the client that we lost this week, the 2 VAs that lost their jobs this week, it's so much down to bad communication, not listening to what's being said, what's being asked, not listening to the objective of the task, doing things wrong due to not listening, not asking questions, not seeking clarity. The quality of the communication is everything. If there is any doubt in your mind, you communicate it. You ask the question. Don't trust things to memory. My memory, I guess in a way I'm blessed because I have a terrible memory. I have an awful memory. Any of my team will tell you my memory is atrocious. So in a way, that has been a bit of a gift for me because I know I've got a bad memory. So the only way I can deal with things is to write them down. So that's why I use the journal. And every thought that comes into my head, everything that I do is planned out. That's why we use Trello. I've developed the process of using Trello for task management, for setting due by dates, getting everything down, everything documented. When I'm out and about, not just when I'm out and about, when I'm sat at home, I'm listening to things, I'm reading, I've got my journal to hand, I'm making notes, and then I can reflect on them later. So never ever trust things to memory. Write everything down. So let's see, how are we doing on the YouTube? So Marielle, well done. Ian, well done. Jimson, well done. That's how many people have we got on the call? We've got 25 people on the call. Glenn subscribed twice to the channel. Well done. Joe, well done. Dory, well done. So hopefully that's pretty much all of you now. But now just don't just subscribe. Watch the material. Watch what's in there. You know, there's some really good personal development content. Lots of refreshers. Some of the stuff you'll know. Some of it will be new stuff. Some of it's aimed at the clients, but still review that. Still look at that. So any other questions? So we've not had very many questions. Okay, so we'll finish off then now today. You know, well done for being here today. I really do hope that you have found the information useful. Do please take it in. Do take action. Do review it. Do become that astounding person. Be that person that stands out. Be the very best that you can be. And, you know, you'll be amazed at what will happen in your life by these simple actions and creating these good habits and getting rid of the bad habits. So that's it for today. And thank you very much indeed. And good luck. And remember, if you want to speak to me personally, please do come on to the open door on Thursday, 9 o'clock every Thursday. Please do come on to that. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.